The air element, when used by the animal soul, will be destructive. The force of your words will be negative, whether using it in idle speech or, God forbid, lashon hara, or boasting about yourself. But when the godly soul uses the air element, of course, it'll be used for praise of Hashem in prayer, counseling people, or using your voice in song, or using your voice in your Torah learning. And then there's the earth element. And the earth element leads a person toward laziness, sadness, depression, or even worse. Whereas when the earth element is used for the positive, it's using that slowness and kind of heavy-heartedness in a good way, meditating, contemplating, think before you speak, or thinking before you act. And you see, everyone has all four to rectify and elevate. Some people have one or four dominant elements. So they're the type of person, for instance, that may have too much of a good thing, right? Like Yitzhak had a lot of gevura, and he was able to reach a very high level of Yirat Hashem. So someone who has a very high element of fire can have a lot of gevura, and in a negative way could lead to panic attacks, anxiety. And it's really an issue these days. So many people have such a problem with anxiety. Or people who suffer depression with too much earth. Or some people who have so much addictions. So it's really, in a sense, their symptom is just showing them how holy they are and how higher than the average person they've been gifted with these elements. And of course, some people have all four. Have you ever had that kind of guest? They sleep all the time, talk too much, eat all your food, and can get angry with like just the smallest of things that don't go their way. Anyway, in the Tanya, our goal is to strive to be more and more like the tzaddik. And sometimes it's confusing because there are terminologies like the level of a Beinani, Alvaya Beinani. Well, in some places in the Torah, like the Gemara, it says the Beinani is someone who does 50-50. They're half good and sometimes half not so righteous. But that's for the long term, with regards to when we get to the next world and when Hashem is going to give us our reward and our punishment. But Beinani in regards to Tanya in this world is not someone who's half-half. It's someone that really acts like a tzaddik. So what's the difference between that Beinani and the tzaddik? The tzaddik has a full love of Hashem. Has no desire for any temptation of the world. Whereas a Beinani acts like a tzaddik, but internally he does have temptation, and he doesn't hate the temptations of the world. So what we need to do is try to use our fire, water, air, and earth in a good way. Like we said earlier, to use it in our prayers. Again, using your passion and your fire in developing Yirat Hashem in your prayers, using your water element to have pleasure in your prayers, and using your speech in your prayers, and then use your earthy element in that contemplative energy that you have in meditation and prayer. So then you harness all these from the beginning of your day, saying, these are my four elements and no one else is going to use them in a not good way, please God. And then you'll have a better day. So just take a moment here, and I'd like you to just think, which element are you gifted with? By seeing some of your weaknesses, you can really see your strengths. And review in your mind how you want to channel that fire, water, air, and earth, but especially that dominant one of yours, in a good way. So if you're fiery, just see yourself being very, very in wonderment of Hashem, and with a lot of passion and drive, and developing amazing relationships, really fearing not to do things to cause distance in your relationship. If you are more of a dominant water personality, see yourself loving making them happy, taking pleasure in giving them pleasure, and not being burdened by their need of you. Or in your relationship with Hashem, see yourself developing more love of Hashem. See yourself really using your godly gift of speech in a holy way. And earth, see yourself just relax, calm, slow, meditative when need be, especially when there may be some challenging situations in your relationship. Or see yourself prolonging your davening and prayers with an extra 1 minute